Vicente Luque obviously just got knocked out by Jeff Neal, but prior to that had one of the most durable chins in the sport. And even against Jeff Neal, he showed an incredible chin. He was just getting tagged over and over and over and over and over and over and over again by Jeff Neal. So it eventually cracked, which was very sad. But either way, for Vicente Luque, the amount of punishment that he has taken against guys like Wonder Boy, took some huge shots from Woodley, fought Leon. I guess Leon's not that much of a finisher, even though, you know. Either way, I think I'm going to throw Vicente in A tier. Yeah. And then we go Blagoy Ivanov. Now this man, if you don't know this man, he was stabbed in the chest. And he's got this crazy, like, markage in the middle of his chest. He was stabbed like 7 times or some shit like that and survived. He spars every day with Francis Ngannou. He trains at Eric Nixick, Team Couture, with Ngannou. He's Ngannou's main sparring partner. That should tell you enough. He's never been knocked down. So I'm going to put Blagoy Ivanov, and the fact that he's at heavyweight, I'm also going to put him in the A tier above Vicente Luque. I might move this around as the list goes on. Then we got Nate Diaz, another one of the toughest guys in the sport, has fought everyone that is anyone in the sport, and has taken huge shots from Leon, from Connor. He has been knocked down, and he has been knocked out, but the sheer amount of fights that he's had and the amount of strikes that he's taken, always has the cardio, which is, I think, a big part of having a good chin, is he's always conditioned well to take the shots. Oh, I don't know. It's tough. I want to put him at either A or B. I think I'm going to put him in A as well. All these chins on this list are insane. And then we go Drew Dober. Drew Dober's chin is crazy. Just his head in general is crazy. He's got a huge dome on him. The shots that he was taking in his last fight against Rafael Alves, when Rafael Alves is an absolute athletic specimen, and he was throwing these huge left hooks and just absolute chin shotting Dober. Like, as clean as you can hit a person, Drew Dober was getting hit by this absolute freak of an athlete that is Rafael Alves. And he was just, and then just kept going, just taking it like a champ. And yeah, his chin is also unbelievable. So I'm gonna have to put it in A tier. I probably should have put some like shit chins in here just to like mix it up. I don't know. And then we go Tony Ferguson. Now, of course, Tony Ferguson of late is a little different than the Tony Ferguson we saw in his prime. But either way, his chin, obviously the main one was against Justin Gaethje, where his chin just looked way too good to be, like, at some point your chin should stop being that good to save you from that much punishment. And that was one of the most brutal fights I've ever seen. It was just absolutely brutal how that fight went and how it was finished. Just eating huge shots from Justin Gaethje. And obviously he was cracked. His chin was cracked by Michael Chandler in a very vicious fashion. With that being said, none of these guys above have been knocked out quite as bad as Tony got against Chandler. So I might slide Tony in B tier. A really good chin though, overall. And then we go Kelvin Gastelum, another guy whose head just is so friggin' hard, and it just doesn't seem like you can hurt this guy. He was eating head kicks from Whitaker and just slightly wobbling, not getting dropped. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think he's ever been finished by knockout. And he had that absolute war with Israel Adesanya. I'm gonna slide him in A tier as well. I'm going to move the people around in A tier in an order at the end. And then we go Pedro Munoz. Now, Pedro Munoz statistically has one of the greatest chins in UFC history. But one thing about Pedro Munoz is he does fight in the bantamweight division. And he's fought some big hitters like Jose Aldo and Cody Garbrandt. Oh, I could have put Cody Garbrandt in the thumbnail. Or in this list. That would have been funny. Yeah, he's fought big hitters, but he's also fought guys like Frankie Edgar and Dominic Cruz, who have landed big shots on him, but not the heaviest of hitters. But Pedro Munoz has taken something like 900 significant strikes and has not gotten knocked down or knocked out ever. But him being in the bantamweight division, I don't know. I might put him at the top of B tier ahead of Tony. Pedro's chin is insane. And then we go Marvin Vettori. Now, Marvin Vettori has an insane chin. The shots he was eating from Paulo Costa and Robert Whittaker, absolutely insane. And there's those guys that you just can't see getting knocked out in your head. Like you can't even picture it. It's like, no, he's just got too good of a chin. But I mean, it eventually pretty much happens to everyone. But Marvin Vettori, I will slide in the A tier. And then we go to Yoel Romero, one of the most genetically gifted and freakish athletes in human history. That clip where Joe Rogan's talking about how his eye, like his orbital bone, healed itself like 10 times quicker than the average human, and his bones are bigger. Like, Romero was created in a Cuban lab, and that's all that we need to know. That picture of him eating that flush head kick from Paulo Costa, and all the shots he ate from Whittaker. He was eating big shots against Tim Kennedy, which controversial fight, but he's been fighting the best guys at middleweight and just eating huge shots throughout, and then waiting until the third round and knock them out viciously. But Yoel Romero, I will also slide in the A tier. I'll do some arranging. And then Max Holloway. Now, I don't think this needs to be explained. Max Holloway, if you didn't know, has absorbed the most significant strikes in UFC history with like 1,000, which is 300 more than the lowest, like the next person, who is Pedro Munoz. And Holloway has fought in some killers, very hard hitters. Got pieced up in his last fight, sadly, against Volkanovski. But man, his chin is unbelievable. The amount of punishment that he's taken, the sheer volume of punishment that he's taken. Never have been knocked down, let alone knocked out. So for me, Max Holloway, it goes in the S tier. And then John Jones, a light heavyweight, which definitely gives him some like credit, because those are the big guys, and we'll see how he does moving up to heavyweight. But John Jones, in all of his fights, never have been knocked down or knocked out, fought some of the most powerful guys ever. But I think less than a chin John Jones has. He has a good chin, and he has been hit clean, and he has taken it well. But if we're looking at someone like Max Holloway compared to John Jones hasn't taken that many strikes. He's taken like 380 or something like that, significant strikes. In his career, Max has taken 1,000. And of course, the light heavyweights do hit harder. But John Jones does a really good job at framing and getting hit at the end of people's reach. I think Max Holloway's been hit cleaner way more times. And I think John Jones does a really good job at rolling with punches, so he doesn't really have to test that chin fully. So in terms of fighters, Jon Jones is obviously top 3 greatest fighters of all time. But in terms of chins, I don't think it's been properly tested like these other guys who have just gotten hit as hard as you can hit a person and still are standing. I think Jon Jones does a better job at rolling with punches than most of these guys. So I think I'm going to put Jon in the lowest tier. He's not in C tier, but he's in B. And I'd say he's the lowest because his chin really hasn't been tested. He's definitely been hit clean a couple times, but not like these other guys have. But let's do some rearranging. Obviously, I'm going to keep Max as the undisputed GOAT of chins. When his chin cracks, it's going to be a sad day. It's going to be a sad day. Okay. I think I want to keep Blagoy Ivanov at the top of A tier. Because he just takes an insane shot. Like Derek Lewis on his streak to the Cyril Gane fight, tagged this guy with everything he could, and Blagoy was just eating it. And he's Ngannou's sparring partner, so he's got to have something to just stay in there and stay alive with Ngannou. So I want to keep Blagoy at the top. Vicente Luque's chin recently got cracked, so I think I'm going to put him behind Dober, Gaslam, Diaz, Vittori. I think I'll put him... I don't know. I think I want to put Munoz above Luque. So I might have to slide Luque into the B tier. Just because his chin got cracked recently. And he fought very powerful guys and showed a really good chin. But I don't think the volume is as in favor as Munoz. And of course there's the weight difference. But I think Munoz, being the second most hit UFC fighter of all time, has to have some sort of weight. And that's why I'm thinking about sliding him into the A tier. Drew Dober's chin is insane. I want to say Marvin's. I want to put Marvin's above Diaz's because Marvin's never been finished and Diaz has. I want to put Romero above Diaz's as well. Gaslam and Vittori to me are really close and interchangeable. Gaslam has been knocked down by Cannonier, but he bounces right back up. So I might slide Vittori above, but Cannonier's fought more powerful guys. So I don't know. This one's close to me. I think the weight thing should definitely maybe slide Vittori above Dober. Yeah, maybe. And then Romero. Okay, I think this is where I'm going to keep the list. Some people might be mad about the Jon Jones thing, but I just don't think he's been as hit as cleanly as these other guys because he's better defensively than everyone here. And he frames with shots, and he's at the end of people's punches, not like some of the shots that Holloway's been hit with, or any of these guys, like straight head kicks for these two, and Romero, and even Diaz eat that head kick against Thompson pretty well, but then did eventually go down and get finished. So yeah, I think that is my tier list. Thank you for watching if you made it to the end of the video. Shout out to you, and yeah, peace.